Hello, we will try to remain unbiased as we watch this trailer. We'll try to remain unbiased.
Wish us luck. Welcome to the Cinefanatics. My name's Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams.
And today we've got a trailer for Madam Web.
You know that hotly contested, every studio was wanting a spider bite of this property, piece of the Spider-Man universe that absolutely needs to be made into a movie?
Let's get Madam Web out there. Like, yes, overall, if you're familiar with the comics, or even like at least the 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Which is where I have more familiarity with this character.
Me too. I don't think I actually really read any of the comics that Madam Web was in, but I'm familiar enough with her character. Mm-hmm. You might remember her looking something similar like this. And yeah, that's what I was expecting when I hear that there's a Madam Web movie. Like, why? This is what I'm picturing. Why is that going to be a thing?
Ironically, this side of the camera, when you said like this, all I see is you, and I don't think Madam Web should look like you.
I mean, it might be an improvement. But anyways, Sony decided in their infinite wisdom to continue what they are allowed to do with their own purchase, I should say, is continue to make movies based off of everything except Spider-Man, but around Spider-Man in some shape or form. So we got this Madam Web movie because they thought, hey, let's turn Madam Web into a movie. Sounds good. Let's stick Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney in there. Cool. And so we finally got the first trailer. This movie comes out in February, which is funny because right now is when Kraven was supposed to come out. So I'm guessing they had originally planned for this trailer to be attached to Kraven, which would make sense. Since Kraven's not coming out right now, we're going to go ahead and still release the trailer anyways, which means Madam Web is now coming out before Kraven since it was pushed to like August of next year.
And listen, all jokes aside, we're going to try to keep an open mind with this, of course. Like with every movie, you never wish for a movie to actually fail or bomb. You want great success for everybody who's a part of making the movie. But
hey, you know what? Venom is watchable. I enjoyed Venom for what it was. So, I mean, Sony's not entirely bad, but let's see.
I don't have hopes without Spider-Man.
What do you want from me? Why do you care for me? Why do you know?
Oh, and I love the trend of the trailer before the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come on. Get your stuff. Let's go.
There is a spider guy in this?
Let's try that again.
Okay, so she's Groundhog Day being it.
It's
A
ironic
week
this comes
ago,
out around the same time
I
as
spent my
Loki.
life racing against time,
I'm gonna help you out today, okay?
trying to save people who were running out of it. Until one moment changed everything.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
What's Adam Scott
I
doing in
don't
this?
Was that
understand
Adam
what's
Scott?
happening. I've been having visions. I knew he was gonna die. I think I'm seeing the future.
New York City's a whole new level of crazy these days.
What do you want from me? What do you know?
New York
Hey, it's
City's
the
a
real
whole
Madam
new
Web.
level of crazy these days.
This is an emergency. Get off the train.
That man's trying to kill you.
Why?
Who are you? What is going on? I can see the future.
Oh, what the hell?
She didn't see that coming?
That's not how it works.
I've seen that
It's like
man
a spider
before.
sense.
So who is
Yeah.
it? Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my
That's
mom
supposed
when
to
she
be
was
Ezekiel
researching
Sims?
spiders right before she died.
Wait, I
Okay.
recognize you. You live in my building.
You're the paramedic.
Yeah, you almost ran me over.
You don't think this is weird? How we're all
It's
connected?
because you were skateboarding in the street.
It's honestly like the least weird thing that's happened all day.
What do you want from me?
I have no idea what those girls are coming.
Why don't you want from me?
Nice.
I think
Okay,
he can
that's
see
interesting.
into the future.
Are you wondering?
He's trying to change what happens. Julia, get down!
Why aren't you scared of me? Why do you care for me?
Your future was almost so different.
Where do we go?
If you want to live, you have to trust me. Get ready.
Why does it feel like Spider-Man really should be
Now!
in this?
You're showing off. Maybe a little.
Okay.
I
There's a trailer.
So I get the idea of wanting to stretch out a story for her and them wanting to make a movie out of it, but at the same time, this is again a character that I don't think needs her own story, especially one separate from Spider-Man, in which you would normally just have her as a side character who only briefly needs to have an explanation of who she is or where she came from, and not an almost 2 hour, however long the movie's going to end up being, time span of a story. Like, I like the addition of the other the Spider Women in there. All of them are interesting. All of their costumes, very briefly.
Looks like we're getting the Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman,
Yeah.
and then we also get Aranya in there.
that looks interesting. It's just still missing the Spider-Man of it all. Like every single one of these Sony properties have been.
I do like real quick that now that the trailer's done, it's like showing the screen that we're looking at is showing like what else we recommend, and the next thing it recommends is Morbius.
Is that the trailer or the movie?
I don't know. It's the movie.
It's the whole movie.
Hey, you watch this, now watch Morbius. Please watch Morbius.
They want us to watch all of Morbius right now. No.
Pass.
So,
Yeah, it's. I understand, like, again, talking about how I'm used to Madam Web being like this older woman that sits in this chair.
which, that's probably where she'll end up by the end of the movie.
Yeah,
maybe.
this very likely is kind of like an origin. I will say, I'm not actually familiar with Madam Web's origin in the comics or cartoon. She just always seemed to be that kind of character that has just always existed. In the cartoon, they also used her as like an associate of the Beyonder, which the Beyonder is the person who is creating and controlling the Secret Wars. Could this mean that they end up tying Dakota Johnson's Madam Web into the MCU Secret Wars? Maybe, but I kind of doubt the MCU wants to do that.
The hard thing is that I don't believe, like, story-wise, the plots, the individual pieces of these Sony movies is up to snuff with the MCU. Give or take what you feel about the MCU currently aside. I did find it weird that Venom was kind of tied in. And at the same time, like, I don't know how I feel about any of these others really being tied in, to the point where, like, yeah, this sounds harsh. I don't really believe Sony should be making these movies at all.
Yes, ultimately, yes. Without the exclusive help that the MCU could give, because the stuff with like tying Venom into the MCU, the stuff with like they tried to make this, or the MCU tried to have this rip in time and space in No Way Home, and then Sony piggybacking off of that by putting Michael Keaton at the end of Morbius. It all seems like it's Sony basically trying to say like, hey, please MCU, please let us be a part of your world. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to shove their way into that MCU money. And
which in reality, of course, we all know it was Marvel who was like, hey, can we please have Spider-Man be used in our universe?
And that's all they wanted. They're like, we want Spider-Man. And we want the ability to potentially use other Spider-Man characters. But Sony's like, well, we have the rights to those characters. Let's go ahead and use it ourselves, and just seem to vaguely tie it into the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole.
Yeah. Listen, whenever you see a movie, again, like I said, you hope for the best. You want great success for the people who made the movie, but at the same time, I want Sony to stop making these movies.
Yeah.
And I think that's a general opinion most people have. Without Spider-Man, these stories just don't feel complete.
Yeah, and I've said that multiple times myself. Real quick, the villain of this is supposed to be Ezekiel Sims, who in the comics is like a 60, 70-year-old man who also got a spider bite. He just was more focused on starting a business rather than being a superhero. He actually is a hero. He's like a supposed like associate of Spider-Man as well. Here they're making him a villain.
Sure.
It does kind of seem like
we're being told he's a villain.
Yeah, when you see scenes of like the villain and the hero actually standing there and talking some things out, that's going to lead me to believe that we're very likely going to get this villain have like a face turn some way through this movie, and there's actually another villain that's actually involved, and it just seems like Ezekiel Sims is villainous to begin with.
Tricksy.
Yeah, so I'm willing to bet, calling it now, that's probably how this is going to go. But yeah, it's whatever. I guess good job so far, Sony. We'll see in February. I don't know if there's going to be another trailer between now and then. I would assume like probably in January right before, but
Yeah, probably. My final thoughts on this is that Sydney Sweeney should have been Black Cat.
yeah. Oh yeah, easily. She should have been Black Cat before Julia Carpenter. Absolutely, 100%. Anyways, that's going to be your reaction to the trailer. What did you think of it? Let us know down below in the comments. While you're down there, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. We are closing in on 2,000 subscribers as of this video, so please help us out. You can follow us on social media at The Cinefanatics on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me personally at Robert Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and youtube.com/@RobertAdamsMLP.
And you can follow me at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, as well as twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP.
Anyways, that's going to do it for this reaction. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!
Oh, sorry, that's not in this movie.
Stop it.